Let's go back to that most recent case with the child molester. You said, yeah, conclude that part about the Merit Systems Protection Board. I mean, based on the brief evidence that you shared with us, the scenario of the case, what were the other considerations that he got in order to resign from the EPA?
He received a cash settlement of $55,000, I believe. I'll have to check my notes.
We paid, the American people paid him $55,000 to walk away?
Yes. But you know, the IG is not part of those negotiations.
I'm not blaming you. You're the ones that actually highlighted this. Mr. Myberg, I mean, it's hard to hold you personally responsible for that, but I mean, we had to pay$55,000 to this person?
Mr. Chairman, in this particular case, which I'm generally aware of, the case, as Mr. Sullivan noted, was one where we had proposed removal and, in fact, took removal action and were reversed by the Merit System Protection Board.
How do you lose that case?
It's a complicated case, and I'm not going to try to go into all the details, but the Merit System Protection Board found that the basis for the removal was not sustained, and so they reversed it. So
I mean, it's just pretty stunning, isn't it? I mean, what needs to change? You both are close to this situation. What needs to change? How do we need to change the Merit Systems Protection Board? Because what's not happening is we're not protecting the American people and the taxpayers, and we're not protecting the employees that have to sit by this freak of a pervert. We're not protecting them. So how do we protect the employees of the EPA and the American taxpayers? What do we need to do with the Merit Systems Protection Board to get them to make the changes?
Congressman, I would simply note a couple of things. One is that we share your desire to protect our own employees from any adverse actions by other employees. So that's a clear area where there's agreement.
And how is it that this person can operate in this atmosphere for so long? I mean, in the case of Dallas, how is it, Mr. Sullivan, you've looked at this case closely, how is it that this goes undetected for so long? It wasn't in our system, or?
Well, it didn't go undetected. It was not reported to the IG. In 1999, our investigation revealed that the management in Region 6 in Dallas, EPA management, found out about his conviction. And at that time, he was stopped again by the police for using lights and sirens. I don't know about the sirens, but I know about the emergency lights. And that was brought to the attention of EPA management. He was counseled and told not to do that again, but it was never brought to the attention of the IG in 1999.
And what was his position back in 1999? What was he doing?
He was an enforcement officer doing civil inspections for the EPA.
So his job would be to do what?
To go out to a site and look, to examine and determine if there was any environmental violations.
So we're putting it out there, interacting with the public. Mr. Myberg, how does this happen? I mean, if you know that this person has to register as a sex offender, has this type, why do you put them in a position to have to interact with the public?
Mr. Chairman, I don't believe there's any particular rule that says that if an employee is convicted of a crime in general, that they have to then report that to the agency.
Should that be the case? Should they have to report ongoing?
Mr. Chairman, I think that's an important issue, and we're happy to work with you and with the Office of Personnel.
I'm just asking your personal opinion. Do you believe that if you're convicted of a felony?
Mr. Chairman, again, I am here in my official capacity. I would rather stay with my official answer.
As somebody who's convicted as a sex offender, is there an internal policy to prohibit those types of perverts from interacting with the public in person?
Mr. Chairman, we've asked that question, and we do not believe that we have the authority to institute a policy to that effect, and we are not different from other agencies in that regard. But it's an important issue, and we agree with you on that.
All right, somebody here on this panel better sponsor a bill to get rid of perverts interacting with the public, because this is not acceptable. I can't imagine somebody comes with the authority of the EPA badge, and then they've got sirens or lights on their car, and they're a registered sex offender. I mean, can you see the disconnect, why people would be outraged if they showed up at your place of business or work, or some mom with their young child, and suddenly you encounter this person? And how do you stand for that?
Mr. Chairman, again, certified badge law enforcement officials have special responsibilities, even more so than ordinary EPA employees.
I can't believe you lost that case, but part of me thinks we're going to have to work here let's get the Merit Systems Protection Board up here and start explaining themselves how in the world they think this is in the best interests of the United States of America. My time's expired.